Welcome back, everyone, to OpenLine. We're talking, should Clarksville have an event center downtown? We have with us Jim Durrett, Montgomery County Mayor. We have lots of comments on NewsChannel 5 Plus Facebook and also calls that we're taking. Daniel Cotterell asks, I want to know the odds of us getting a minor league hockey team to play at this event center. What about that?
Well, I've actually had contact with two different organizations that have shown an interest in it. Obviously, we're in the very early planning stages of it, but we've had some folks from the SPHL, I think that's a Southern Professional Hockey League, that have reached out to us, that have shown some interest in maybe bringing a team there. And so, that's one of the things that, and I've talked to the Predators about, to their organization about some of this, and I think we'll continue to get calls, and I think it's very important that we, if we go down that route, which I think one day we will, we just need to make sure we get the right owner and the right franchise.
Right. That's the next thing.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing.
It's very important.
If that were to happen. Very good discussion going on Facebook. I promise I'm not looking at my text.
That's okay.
It's a good discussion going on Facebook. Okay, let's see if Debbie wants to say anything. Hello, Debbie?
Tammy, not Debbie.
Tammy. Sorry, Tammy. Go right ahead, Tammy.
It's okay. Hi, Mayor Durrett. Can you explain to me how the downtown location was chosen? And tell me what I can do to help, because I'm so on board.
Awesome. Thank you, Tammy.
Okay.
Part of the HVS study that I mentioned kind of at the top of the show was looking at not only the feasibility but of the location. And so they interviewed stakeholders, they looked at our demographics, they looked at everything, and they recommended downtown. They looked at our exits, but they recommended downtown, and we kind of went with that. And we talked, I think, in the last segment a little bit about Austin Peay and the importance of Austin Peay being a part of it. It's catty corner from their campus, and so from the housing, from the dorms at Austin Peay, it's probably a block and a half. And so it'll be a great way for the kids that are staying in the dorms to be able to come there. And Tammy, she asked, how can she help? I think just be supportive. Just continue to be supportive.
Well, very good. All right, let's go to PC. Hello, PC.
Yes.
Go right ahead. What's on your mind?
Okay. We just voted out a mayor who had an obsession with soccer and spending taxpayers' money. Clarksville is a unique city. It is a quaint city. It doesn't need to become a suburb or a backyard to Nashville. I lived in Nashville for 10 years, and I moved to Clarksville to get away from the traffic, the congestion, and noise, and the crime. According to a radio station, WWTN 99.7, 100 people a day are moving to Nashville. If this became the situation here in Clarksville, we'd have chaos. When I listen to the mayor, I feel like I'm listening to a steak oil salesman. Roads, police officers, fire, rescue, personnel, new jail, sewer and water treatment expansion and improvement. These are the things that are needed. And all these fun projects that everybody wants to build are nice, but it just doesn't get things done. Thank you, and I appreciate the time. You guys are all right.
Well, thank you, PC. He's opposed.
It sounds that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you address his concerns?
Well, number one, and again, I don't want to keep reflecting back to what I said, but when you asked me, were we trying to model ourselves after another community? No, I think we need to create our own identity. And so I think that's part of our identity. And when he talks about roads, he talks about police officers, he talks about firefighters, he talks about water, he talks about sewer, he talks about these infrastructure things. 2 points on that. One is that based on the study that we had this facility will generate about $20+ million a year in economic impact to our community. But the big number in that is about $13 million of that is in direct spending. And I'm sure you've been tracking what happened with the draft, and they talked about the economic impact of the draft, but the direct spending number, and it was gigantic. And so 13 million in direct spending in our community is huge. And so what that creates new sales tax dollars. It creates all of these different revenue streams that come into the community that allow us to fund the things that we need to fund. And again, out of the 6 revenue sources that we've identified, 5 of them go away if we don't build the multipurpose event center. The only one that stays there are the pilot payments, and they won't fund what we're talking about.
Now, when I hear PC talking, it sounds to me like his concern is just Clarksville growing too quickly, Montgomery County growing too quickly. He indicated he's lived in Nashville, he didn't like it, he's moved to Clarksville because he wants slower pace, and all those things that come with it. He doesn't want to grow quickly and he doesn't want to become another Nashville. What do you say to people that have that kind of concern?
Well, I think that's just who we are. I think we're growing. And, you know, again, I don't want to sound like a smart aleck, but I don't think we want to go outside at all of our exits and put up no vacancy signs. Then what happens to our local economy? It starts drying up. And so then what do? How do we support our police? How do we support our fire? How do we support our jail? We have to raise property taxes. And so this is creating revenue that's going to come into our community that we hadn't seen in the past. And so I think it's a win-win for us. It's not snake oil, I promise you.
All right, we have to take a break. We'll come back, basically wrap everything up. Take a break, be back right after this.